Hey, what's up? My name is Leah. I'm a calisthenics coach. I've been working on calisthenics training for about 6 to 7 years now. I didn't train any of these sorts of movements as a kid or even through my teens. I really only started in my 20s, so I had never done a pull-up or a cartwheel until my early 20s. And one of my favorite movements that I've worked really hard on is the ring muscle up. At this point, I can link several ring muscle ups together, and I coach a lot of people on the muscle up as well. Anyone working on the muscle up knows that one of the main sticking points for this movement is the transition. There's a couple movements I've found, a couple of exercises, I should say, that I found to be very, very helpful for my clients working on the muscle up transition. These are static holds in particular, so not always the most exciting, but very, very helpful for building out your transition, improving your control, your strength, your stability, etc. Let's get to it. Anyone working on the muscle up knows that the transition is often the hardest part, right? So the transition involves going from under the rings, over the rings, and pressing up into the top position. When clients come to me struggling with the muscle up, specifically the transition, I like to break it down and really focus on each piece, and that's where those static holds come in. First one, in my opinion, biggest bang for your buck is going to be the chest to ring lock off hold, right? So what that looks like, I have a false grip and I'm supporting myself here. Feet are off the ground. Note that the chest and rings are together, right? I'm not in this weird, awkward place here. So if you imagine doing a pull-up and then trying to go into that muscle-up transition, coming from here, I would need to come all the way up and then come through. And this is one of the biggest things I've seen. I've had a lot of really strong people come to me for coaching because they just can't figure out why they're pulling from here and flaring out. There's no control or contact and they can't get through the rings, even though they're plenty strong. A couple cues I think can be really, really helpful. One is, again, chest to the rings, literally. So no gap here. We are working for full contact here. With that in mind, elbows have to be in, and you want to have the shoulders packed down and back, right? So we don't want to be hunching into here. It's not going to be effective. You're not going to train the right areas to actually make your muscle up look better and feel better, right? So we need to be really solid with elbows in, shoulders pulled down and back, chest to rings, all in good control and contact, right? And that is how you'll be able to hold this position nicely and safely. It's hard to do. Oftentimes, people can't necessarily just hold right here. Of course, there's the false grip component, and that's a topic for a whole separate video, but you do need to have your false grip dialed in, nice and secure in order to be able to hold that position. Best way that I found to work on it, two ways, I should say. One is using the feet to assist. So note, I have my hips under the rings here and my feet are lightly on the ground here, just helping. That's one way to work on it. The way I would start with, and what I prefer to have my clients start with, is a false grip row. So this is great because you can control how much assistance you're getting from the feet really nicely, and you can pull the full range of motion. Pause, note how I'm pausing in the chest to ring position, and then come down. In order to make it tougher, I simply make the angle tougher as well. The other key drill that I found very helpful for my clients is to be able to support above the rings. Same concept, static hold right here in this bottom dip position. Now that's the other thing I see a lot, right? The first one is people pulling and trying to transition through too early. It's not working because they're not pulling all the way up. The other is transitioning through and not being able to stabilize or control this position, which not only will make your muscle up really hard to do, it's also really not great for the shoulders, the chest, that whole area, right? So building time spent in this position. Note my elbows are back. I'm not dropping my chest down, so I'm maintaining good pressure right through this area here. And I like to look out just a bit ahead, not super intense with the neck position here. We don't need to create a bunch of unnecessary strain there, but just a little bit out to help keep the posture up, the chest up nice and tall. Similar to how we were able to work on the chest to ring position with the feet touching the floor, you can do the same thing for the bottom dip. So I can come here and just very lightly have the feet assisting here. Okay, this is a really good way to control how much the upper body versus the lower body is taking. And over time, you work to use less and less, maybe 1 foot, and eventually you can hold. The other way that you can improve your bottom dip control is to lower the rings down like I've done here and do the same thing. But like we did in the ring row, have your feet supporting you as well. So this is the bottom push-up position, right? You're just holding that bottom range of the push-up. And I can't tell you how many clients I've had who come in super strong. They can do all sorts of pull-ups and dips and all this. And I put them right here and they're super shaky all over the place simply because they haven't built the stability and control in that range of motion. Just to recap here, these 2 static holds I think are super crucial if you're working on your muscle up transition. We have our lock off chest to ring hold, and we have our bottom dip position as well. I've posted a lot about these on Instagram. A lot of people say it's helped them. I've made most of my clients do these in some form or other, depending on where they're stronger, where they need work. And I found them to be really, really helpful, both for getting that first ring muscle up and for building your current muscle up capacity. So if you're working on your ring muscle up, try these out. Get real solid at that lock off hold. Even a few seconds, couple sets can be a game changer. And that bottom dip position. Let me know how it goes. Let me know if you have questions in the comments.